Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, I'm going to be offering a little bit of buyer beware for the new DLC content that has just come out. Also, some warnings and things you need to know before buying the brand new Tornado Rat Rod, as well as looking into the future with some new information that was found that could suggest the kind of timeline of the content we could be seeing going forward over the next couple weeks. So I know it's kind of a lot of topics, but I feel like it was best to just fit all of them in one video rather than just to spread them out. I feel like that makes the most sense for you, and it makes the most sense for me as well. So let's jump straight into this and let's get it started. Today, we are going to start with the brand new Tornado Rat Rod. That's right, Rockstar surprised everyone today, myself, many people in the community, by releasing the Tornado Rat Rod, and that's it. They didn't release anything else, which I thought was kind of weird. Now, the reason I'm going to say they released this vehicle today was because they had to disable the tunables for the Halloween playlist. It featured 3 jobs, gave out double money NRP. That has since been disabled. Obviously, it's no longer Halloween. It's now November. And I'm guessing when they did that, they said, what the heck? Let's just add the Tornado Rat Rod into the game. So it was added into the game. Nothing more, nothing less. Now, let's start with the price of this vehicle. It comes in at $378,000, which in and of itself is not bad, not terribly expensive, especially when you compare it to the vehicle we just got on Friday, that being the Sanctus bike, which is $2 million. But at the end of the day, when you do end up customizing this, you're certainly going to eclipse the $500,000, $600,000 range. So this does end up being a pretty pricey vehicle by the end of the day, and if you make this usable for yourself when it's all said and done. So a lot of people have been asking me, Mr. Boss, is this worth it? Should I buy this vehicle? Now, I'm going to be talking to you guys on a couple fronts here. Let's start with the front that we just look at the vehicle in game. We don't look at any other scenarios regarding future content. So we know the price right there. We know that it's pretty expensive by the time you customize it, $500,000 to $600,000. Let's obviously talk about the customization of the vehicle itself. And unfortunately, there isn't a ton of customization outside of an exhaust mod and 2 variations to the engine intake. There's absolutely no upgrades you can do to this vehicle, which once again, I thought was kind of disappointing because I thought this vehicle had a ton of potential. So to only see it have 2 mod upgrades is slightly disappointing, even though we knew that going in there. 2 things that have kind of gotten me disappointed, as I've mentioned. Number 1 is the low detail on like the exposed piece of the car. You obviously can see that like the front seems to be missing, like the cover and whatnot. And there's just, it looks like it's super low detail outside of the engine block. I don't know. That's just something I picked up on. Maybe you guys ended up noticing this as well. And even though the engine block itself looks really cool, and the fact that it has that moving belt that I think is kind of neat, I'm really disappointed by the fact there isn't any other options here. Now, the other thing that bothers me here with the Rat Rod is the fact that the back wheels cannot be changed, yet the front can, which can kind of lead to some awkward situations. So I've covered that in previous videos, so I'm not going to go over that in a whole lot, but there is a muscle wheel that you can actually select that will allow you to match up the back wheel. So at least if you're OCD or, are looking for symmetry here, you can at least match them up that way. So one other thing I noticed, and that many of you guys pointed out as well, this vehicle is incredibly rusty, and that should be apparently obvious because it is a Rat Rod. It's supposed to be kind of a rusty style vehicle like this. So there's no way to remove it. Any type of paint job you apply is going to have this sort of rusty overlay and overlook to it. So that's pretty much it as far as the customization goes. Now let's move on to the performance. And the performance is not going to be the strong suit of the Tornado Rat Rod right here. Now, it is a Rat Rod. That should be very, very important. So performance is not going to be something that it was built for. Its acceleration is mediocre, really at best. It doesn't have a very good top speed at all. I've noticed that it understeers quite a bit and that turning just doesn't really work for this vehicle. It's also not that fast in a straight line, but really, like I said, at the end of the day, it is a Rat Rod, and its performance isn't supposed to be something that defines this vehicle. I believe that this vehicle is really a novelty at best. And if you have the disposable income to afford it, then I would say, go for it. I think it looks really cool. I think it's one of the most unique looking vehicles in the game, that's for sure. But I would not buy this vehicle if you see it and say, oh, that's going to have great customization, or that's going to have, surprisingly unique good performance, because it absolutely does not. Now, one thing I do need to point out is obviously this is a completely new vehicle. Now, for whatever reason, Rockstar love adding modified versions of the Tornado in the game. This is our 6th version of the Tornado. So they didn't just remove the hood. They didn't just, put a different engine on there. It's a completely new car. It shares kind of very little with the Tornado. It's pretty different. It actually has better performance, which is unique. So as far as Tornadoes go, this one will have better performance than the regular one. It has a different sound. It obviously drives differently. There's a ton of other different features, as you guys have seen so far. And one other thing I noticed, I don't think this is unique to the car, but there's actually a Liberty City Easter egg in here. There's a Liberty City street map that can actually be found in sort of like the floorboard. There's a bunch of other like pieces of trash in here, and when I was kind of just looking at the vehicle, this is one that I just noticed. So I don't know if you've ever noticed this before, but there's a Liberty City street map that can be found in the Tornado Rat Rod. So that's pretty cool. Don't really know what that means or if that means anything. Probably just a random Easter egg, but I thought that that was really cool, and that's something that's in the interior as well. But now what I want to talk about is kind of a correction to what I talked about yesterday, and because the Tornado Rat Rod released today, could it confirm that some leaked information is actually true? So what I'm going to do on the screen right now is put this image, and this came out before all of the vehicles released. And I think this is pretty interesting because it's the release schedule for all the remaining unreleased vehicles. So in my video the other day, I said that Rockstar was likely going to do 2 vehicles at a time, a set of vehicles on November 8th and then a set of vehicles on the 22nd. Well, I was kind of right in the fact that I thought the Tornado Rat Rod was coming next, but I was wrong on the fact that they were going to be doing 2 vehicles a week. So this is the schedule right here. You can see it matches up almost perfectly. On October 11th, we received the Raptor, the Custom, and the 6th property. On the 25th, we received the Vortex. We didn't get the Sanctus till later in the week, but still that adds up pretty well. November 1st, we obviously got the Tornado Rat Rod, which is today. Now let's look at the remaining part of the month. November 8th, Shotaro. That's pretty interesting. I suspected that the Shotaro was going to be coming out at the very last possible moment to kind of build up the hype. But according to this leak, and it's gotten the first 3 vehicle release weeks correct, they say that the Shotaro is going to be coming out November 8th. And you can see on November 8th, it looks like the Shotaro is set to release as well. So once again, I thought that it was going to be releasing last, but according to this leak, which once again, we don't know if it's 100% true or not, the Shotaro is going to be releasing on the 8th. That would include the Deadline adversary mode as well. So that would mean that that's less than a week away. We obviously know how expensive and crazy that's going to be. So, we're going to have to prep coming up pretty soon for a very pricey vehicle, much sooner than I thought we were. Then on November 15th, you can see the Esky, and then on November 22nd, the Yuga Classic. So that's weird. It seems like Rockstar, instead of going a 2 vehicle at a time thing, look to now be taking the approach of going 1 vehicle a week. We obviously got this one on the 1st, the 8th, the 15th, and then the 22nd. So I definitely think that's very interesting. I wanted to throw this in here because, yesterday in my video, I said that I thought it would be 2 vehicles every 2 weeks, but it looks like it's going to be 1 vehicle every week for the next 4 weeks for the entire month of November. That, my friends, is pretty crazy, but it looks like we've got an exciting month full of content coming here in Grand Theft Auto Online. So now that we know that information, here's my final verdict on the Tornado Rat Rod. This thing is bad to the bone. It looks incredibly cool. I'm a little disappointed in the performance, more so disappointed in the customization, just because I think there was a lot of potential there. The price is not bad, but knowing what we know now, that the Shotaro looks to be coming next week, if you don't have the funds or are wanting to prioritize the Shotaro, I would focus on that. This Tornado Rat Rod is great, but I think you're going to get more use out of the Shotaro Tron bike, which is going to become the fastest bike in the game. I'm going to touch on that a little bit more later on, but if you have the money and you don't think that's a concern and you think this car is great, get it. It's going to be a lot of fun over the next week or so. I'm going to be doing really cool stuff with it on my channel, live streams and whatnot. So I would recommend it if you have the funds and if you're not worried about the lack of customization or the performance. And last but not least, the only other thing I want to mention today is a new premium race called City Air going on from today, November 1st through the 7th, and it's going to feature feature the sports class and is going to be going on, like I said, through Monday, November 7th. And we'll be offering a sizable GTA payout as well as triple RP for competing. But really, that's all the information I had to talk to you guys about today regarding the new Declasse Tornado Rat Rod, what looks to be the new release schedule of this content, which has been backed up by the last 3 or 4 weeks of what Rockstar has ultimately done in game. I'd love to hear from you guys in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think about the Rat Rod. Let me know what you think about the upcoming release schedule week. I think it's a really exciting time in Grand Theft Auto Online with lots of cool new content. But as always, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comment section down below. If you did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would of course be awesome. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new or you like daily GTA 5 videos like this. Without the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.